Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into the ultimate heavyweight tech dilemma of the year. We're putting two absolute titans head-to-head to help you figure out your next daily driver. The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra and the Apple iPhone 17 Pro Max. Let's get right to it. So, Samsung or Apple? It's literally the biggest question when you're buying a flagship phone, right? It's a debate that's been raging since the dawn of the modern smartphone. But before we get totally bogged down in dense specs, camera comparisons, and battery life, let's look at a pretty wild geographical twist in pricing. This might actually make the decision for you right out of the gate. Okay, get this. The value proposition completely flips depending on where you're physically standing on the globe. If you're in the US, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is going to run you about $100 more than the iPhone. But wait, if you're watching this over in Europe, the whole situation reverses. The Samsung is actually up to €200 cheaper than the iPhone 17 Pro Max. It's crazy. Depending on your zip code, the value equation changes entirely, making this matchup so much more intriguing for international buyers. To crown a winner, we're taking this round by round. We've got design and display face-off, the performance and software battle, the great camera shootout, endurance and refueling, and we'll wrap it all up with the judges' scorecard. Round 1, design and display face-off. Physically, these two share roughly the same footprint, but they feel totally different. Samsung brings a noticeably lighter and thinner chassis. We're talking 214 grams and just 7.9 millimeters thick. Now, Apple comes in heftier at 233 grams and 8.8 millimeters thick. That lighter build makes the Galaxy incredibly comfortable to hold. But you know, the iPhone's heavy aluminum frame paired with that ceramic shield too feels undeniably premium. As for durability, well, if you drop it in the pool, Apple can survive a much deeper 6-meter swim for 30 minutes, whereas Samsung is rated for 1.5 meters. Moving to the screens, you're getting massive 6.9-inch, 120Hz LTPO OLED displays on both. They are absolutely stunning. But Samsung definitely holds the edge in everyday brightness and pixel density. The Galaxy pushes a slightly higher resolution, giving you around 500 pixels per inch compared to Apple's 460. But the real-world difference? That's the brightness. In measured tests, the S26 Ultra sits around 1480 nits for regular use, which noticeably outshines the iPhone's 1000 nits. Though, to be fair, both of these screens peak near an eye-searing 3000 nits, so you'll have zero issues in direct sunlight. Now, beyond just raw specs, we've got to talk about exclusive features. Samsung uniquely packs the productivity-focused S Pen right into the body of the phone. Apple just doesn't have anything like that. Plus, Samsung throws in this super clever privacy display mode. It literally narrows the viewing angles of your screen, blocking wandering eyes if you're on a crowded train or sitting in a coffee shop. The iPhone, on the other hand, relies on its excellent standard legibility and that heavy premium aluminum and glass build to really justify its massive screen real estate. Round 2, performance and software battle. Under the hood, both of these beasts are running cutting-edge 3-nanometer silicon. Samsung is rocking the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, specially tuned for Galaxy, while Apple drops in its formidable A19 Pro chip. For memory, both base models start at an impressive 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, which is fantastic for baseline buyers. But if you're a serious power user, take note, Samsung maxes out at 16 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. Apple sticks to 12 gigs of RAM, but they let you push the storage to a massive 2 terabytes. When we look at the benchmark numbers, that overclocked Snapdragon gives Samsung a slight edge in multi-core performance, scoring 11,566 over Apple's 10,118. So Samsung technically wins the benchmark battle. But honestly, in day-to-day life, both of these chipsets are going to absolutely crush your demanding daily tasks without even breaking a sweat. Actually, the really crucial point here isn't speed, it's longevity. Samsung is promising an incredible 7 years of OS updates for the S26 Ultra. Apple, who historically always wore the crown for software support, is currently offering 5 years for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Plus, Samsung's One UI currently boasts a much more mature suite of baked-in AI features, while Apple Intelligence is still kind of playing catch-up on a few capabilities they previously promised. Round 3, the great camera shootout. On paper, the megapixel counts look totally mismatched. I mean, Samsung boasts a staggering 200-megapixel main sensor against Apple's 48-megapixel main, but don't let that massive number fool you into thinking it's an automatic win for Samsung. In daylight, Apple uses a 24-megapixel default output that creates this fantastic illusion of extra detail, and it easily rivals the standard 12-megapixel bin files you get from the Galaxy. Honestly, color rendering just comes down to your personal taste. Samsung is a bit more vibrant and punchy, while the iPhone tends to stay a touch more neutral. When the sun goes down, telephoto performance turns into a really fascinating mixed bag. Samsung pulls ahead significantly at the 5x optical range and clearly takes the win when night mode is activated for zoomed shots. But conversely, Apple actually captures sharper detail at the 2x zoom range in low light conditions without even needing night mode to kick in at all. It's essentially a game of distinct focal length advantages. For video and selfies, the differences are highly specific to how you actually shoot. Apple absolutely continues to hold the crown in overall video, delivering sharper, more contrast-rich 4K footage at a buttery 60 frames per second. The iPhone also features a wider 20mm selfie lens, which is perfect for cramming more friends into your group shots. On the flip side, Samsung captures incredibly detailed selfies. It's especially noticeable with fine details like facial hair. Oh, and only Samsung gives you the ability to capture massive 8K video at 30 frames per second.
Round 4, Endurance and Refueling.
Okay, here is a really surprising twist. The Galaxy S26 Ultra actually has the physically larger battery at 5,000 mAh compared to the iPhone's 4823. Yet, the iPhone manages a noticeably longer overall active use time. We're talking roughly 17 hours and 58 minutes versus Samsung's 16 hours and 23 minutes. The iPhone specifically dominates when it comes to web browsing and gaming efficiency, while the Galaxy holds its ground much better during long phone calls and endless video streaming sessions. However, when your battery is dead and it is time to actually refuel, Samsung absolutely obliterates the competition. Seriously, no contest. Using its 60-watt wired charging, the Galaxy S26 Ultra rockets to a full 100% in just 43 minutes. The iPhone 17 Pro Max peaks around 42 to 50 watts, and it takes roughly 72 minutes for a full charge. That means Samsung hands you a full battery almost a whole half hour faster. But Apple definitely strikes back when it comes to the wireless experience and the audio. The iPhone has MagSafe magnets built right in for seamless, perfectly aligned wireless charging out of the box. To get those top wireless speeds with magnetic alignment on the Galaxy, you actually have to go out and buy a specific accessory case. Also, while both phones get super loud, the iPhone's tuning leans toward a warmer, bass-rich sound that doesn't drown out vocals. It's a premium speaker profile that many listeners generally prefer over Samsung's tuning. Round 5. The judge's scorecard. So who is the Galaxy S26 Ultra actually for? Well, go with Samsung if you want a phone that feels lighter and thinner in your hand. It's the clear winner if you value lightning-fast 60-watt charging, a brilliant screen with an awesome privacy display, and the distinctive versatility of the S Pen. Throw in unparalleled 7-year software support and those incredibly detailed selfies, and the S26 Ultra is just an absolute productivity powerhouse. On the other hand, you should definitely choose the iPhone 17 Pro Max if your daily priorities look a bit different. If you absolutely need marathon active battery life for heavy web browsing and gaming, superior contrast-rich video recording, and the sheer convenience of built-in MagSafe, this is your phone. Plus, you're getting that warmer premium speaker sound, alongside the renowned long-term resale value and total stability of the iOS ecosystem. Both of these phones are spectacular achievements in modern engineering. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either. But as we wrap up this explainer, it leaves us with one final provocative thought. Are you actually choosing the absolute best phone for your specific daily needs? Or are you just picking the one that automatically syncs with your current smartphone and laptop? Take a hard look at these specs and choose the tool that truly serves you best. Thanks so much for learning with us today.